Hi, I'm Sally, and this is Ross. We're counselors here at the college, and we're here to talk to you today because we understand that you're going through probably a lot of anxiety and worry right now related to the coronavirus and everything that's happening in the country right now.
When we think of anxiety as counselors, we think of it in two respects. One is below the neck and one is above. It exists in our bodies, our physiology, muscle tension, things like that, and in our heads in terms of worry. Managing physiology directly is something that we can do, but people don't think about. One way to do that, and this is supported by research, is to just change how you're breathing. Nothing fancy, just slow your breathing down to a 10-second cycle. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Second tip with that breathing is that you want to do it smooth and evenly. 5 in, 5 out. So you're smooth through the cycle. No need to take excessively deep breaths. This, when people are hooked up to biofeedback equipment, very clearly shows that physiology relaxes for most of us when we do that.
Yeah. The other way that we tend to experience anxiety besides our body is also in our thoughts, where we're putting our attention of how we're thinking and what we're worrying about and ruminating on. And research shows that as humans, we tend to overestimate how difficult a circumstance is going to be, and then we tend to underestimate our abilities to cope and adjust and manage through those difficulties. And so with that in mind, professionals, mental health professionals right now are recommending that we limit the amount of news that we're taking in to just 30 minutes a day. So one way you can do that, because it's important to be informed and you want information, but you don't want to over-focus on the news in a way that's going to add suffering and harm to yourself unintentionally. So one way you can limit news, for example, is to just set up 15 minutes in the morning to get news through whatever news source you use, and then 15 minutes again in the evening. And just leave it at that, and have the rest of your day be not focused on news sources. So instead of focusing on these moment-to-moment updates with the news, what you can do instead is then focus on connections with family members and friends in your community. So while you're physically distancing from others, make sure that you're socially connected to others as well, and doing that in ways that you're probably already figuring out at a distance through social media, video chats, talking on the phone. Additionally, the other thing that you can be thinking about and focusing on is the resources that you have that you can bring to bear right now in this situation. Internal resources and external resources. Internal resources are the qualities and skills that you have as a person that you can bring to bear to manage and solve any situation in your life. External resources are things in your life that are going to be supportive and helpful to you. Family members, friends, community resources like the food bank, for example. Additional resources are keeping in mind the activities and people that really ground you and recharge your batteries. And then finally, to consider how can you be a resource for someone else in your family or in your community. Do you have an elderly relative who needs help getting their medical prescriptions filled? Do you have a neighbor who's a single mom with 3 kids at home right now? Maybe she needs help getting groceries. It's through these things we connect with ourselves and with others that we're going to be able to get through this experience with resilience, emotional health, and well-being. We're here for you in counseling services. We care. Please stay in touch with us through our webpage on the SPSCC website for additional tips, resources, and ideas. Take good care. Be safe and healthy.